Welcome back to Skinnybru Rugby. So round 3 of Super Rugby has passed. I just want to thank everyone for the support. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button yet, please do. It's here on the bottom right somewhere. Okay, let's get into the games of the weekend. What a thrilling weekend. So there were some serious upsets. I got 4 out of 7 this weekend, but I think most people didn't do that well. Let's get into it. The Hurricanes beat the Brumbies 43-13. I didn't call the win to be that big, especially after that game from the Brumbies last week, but they did not play the same this week. They had quite a poor performance. The Hurricanes, on the other hand, showed what they could do with a lot of tries. I would talk about the good performances later on in the video in the Dream Team. Then it was the Rebels versus the Highlanders. The Rebels beating the Highlanders 24-19. I was one of the 26% of people on Superbru that called the Rebels to win. So I feel pretty chuffed about that. The Rebels played really well. Cooper really played well. He made a few good moves. I'll also get into a few tries that were scored in that match. Then the Highlanders again didn't look convincing. That first 2 games they played, they didn't look that well, but in this game they also didn't play well. Then it was the Chiefs versus the Sunwolves, and that's the biggest upset of the season so far, and I think it's going to be the biggest upset we will see this season. The Sunwolves winning their first game away from home in their 4 years they've been part of Super Rugby. Only 2% of people called the Sunwolves, and I think those people are the guys that just had a joke and just said the Sunwolves and they won. The Chiefs were really poor. They conceded a lot of penalties and knocked on a lot. They barely had the ball in that game, and the Sunwolves just took that ball and they ran with it, and the Chiefs could never get into the game. The Sunwolves dominated most of the game. They looked like winning the whole time, but while I was watching that game, I was happy about the Sunwolves winning, but I was just waiting for the Chiefs to turn it on and play a lot better, but that never happened. The Sunwolves are playing the Blues next, so I am sure they're thinking of having another win over a New Zealand team. And who knows how good they're going to be this season if they have 2 wins over New Zealand teams. The next game was the Reds versus the Crusaders. Most people called the Crusaders to win this game, and they did, 12-22. But they didn't play that convincingly. If I can say, they did look like winning through the whole game, but you thought they will actually play better against the Reds. But the Reds, again, they didn't look that bad now in their second game of the season. The result could have been a lot worse. That 12-22 wasn't that bad. But then again, Mahunga's kicking was poor. That kept the Reds in the game, the goal kicking especially. But I thought the Crusaders would win further. Then it was the Lions versus the Bulls. The Bulls winning 30-12. I also didn't expect that. The percentage to get that right was 28% on Superbru, so most people didn't call it. They were pinned in their own half by Pollard, who kicked extraordinarily. Then the Lions had about 10 good minutes in the game, and that was it. Nothing further. Andre Pollard absolutely outplayed Yankees, and there was no way the Lions were going to perform well if it continued in that manner, and it just did. Then after that, it was the Sharks versus the Stormers. The Stormers beating the Sharks 16-11. Again, I didn't call that. Only 12% of people on Superbru called it happening. For me, it was a poor game again by the Stormers, but they did keep the Sharks in their half. And the Sharks did concede a lot of penalties and got 2 yellow cards, I think. One for Akker and one for But it's interesting to think that An interception by the Stormers in the 3rd minute from Willemse made them win that game by 5 points. So that 3rd minute interception actually said who's going to win that game. Then after that, it was the Jaguares versus the Blues. I got the one correctly, 23-19. It was closer than I thought it would be. Mojano had a good game again on the wing, but the Blues really gave it a go. They didn't play that poorly. I thought they were going to lose further now that they're over in Argentina, but it was actually a pretty close game. The Blues still are looking pretty good this year. But after this weekend, the 2 bottom teams on the log are New Zealand teams, the Blues and the Chiefs. But then on other terms, the Hurricanes and the Crusaders are looking really good this season. So the New Zealand teams has a bit of a split at this point of the season. I don't know what's going on there. I think a big factor there is the All Blacks that need to be rested, either a full game or half of the game. But the Crusaders are playing with 2nd string teams a lot, and they are doing it. So I don't really know what's going on there. So let's have a look at the dream team for round 3. Let's start with the props. Moody and Franks, both of the Crusaders props did well. Moody got a 12.5 on Superbru, and Franks got 12. Then the hookers, Dane Coles, he got 22. He's back to his good form that made him an All Black. And I think Riccatelli, that played that well last year, is also pushing him now to play even better. The locks, Helu from the Sunwolves, played really well. I think he's one of the key reasons they did win. He got 22.5 and Blackwell got 15. Then the loose forwards, Savia got 21. He stays a dangerous player and he showed it in that game. Then Papali'i from the Blues, he also played well. He got an 18. Douglas from the Crusaders, he's continuing to impress this year. I'm thinking he's pushing for All Black spot. If he continues like this, I'm sorry to say, but I still don't think he'll become an All Black. They just have too much loose forwards that's really playing well at the moment. Maybe for after Reed leaves, maybe he can get into that All Black side then. Then the scrum off, the best one of the weekend wasn't that impressive. Paranara, he got a 10. The fly half was Pollard. He got 30 according to Superbru. I think it was the best performance so far this season. He completely pinned the Lions in their own half. And in that Springbok fly half game between the Pollard and Yankees, Pollard absolutely outplayed Yankees. Then in the centers, we have Laumape, who got 40. He scored 3 tries and he showed why he's one of the favorite picks on Superbru. Last year, the year before, and now this year, he's one of the favorite picks by people. He's one of the most popular picks, and he's just continuing to show why. He makes a lot of meters and he scores a lot of tries. He's the best performer of the week. English, he had a really good game, scoring 2 tries. Then in the outside, this week again, Gerard van der Heever is there. He got 25.5 this week. He also had a good game with a lot of strong runs where guys are hanging on to him, but he's pulling them with him. That one try he did score. Yet again, it's one of those ones, it's lucky, but he was in the position and that opportunity was made. Then Mojano, he got 25.5. He also had a great game. And Jordan from the Crusaders, he got 22.5. He had a great long distance try where he ran most of the section, passed. The winger ran a bit more and passed back to him, and he scored a really good try. I think that was his debut try for in Super Rugby. Okay, yeah, so that's the dream team for the week and how the scores went. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a comment if you were also shocked by some of the results this week, or maybe you would put someone else in the dream team. I must say, guys, like Smith played really well, the prop from the Lions, but he just didn't make it. And Dwayne Vermeulen didn't play too badly. Skalk Brits did play his best game of the year so far, but Cole's got 22, which was just outstanding. So yeah, that's it for the week. I'll see you for the preview for round 4.